You have a testimony.
Why the
tell your life.
Get in on this.
I witnessed it.
He finna be in here and
Why
tell
the
her
fuck I got an EBT card? And this is at Breezy Bowl and made 90 whatever the million, and it say KKKKK Mac. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to leave, bro.
Leading up to who he is.
I'm not even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like what the, bro? I can't even get nothing, bro, man.
Kevin McCall's viral breakdown brought all that old tension with Chris Brown right back to the surface. But before the situation could cool off, Young Thug jumped in, confronting Chris face to face. What was meant to be a calm conversation quickly turned into a heated exchange, and the leaked footage from that night showed just how wild things got. October 20th, 2025 became a day nobody in the music world will forget. Kevin McCall, now 40, sat down for what was supposed to be a regular podcast chat on Back on Fig. But what unfolded shocked everyone. During that nearly 3-hour sit-down, Kevin let the world see a side of him that nobody was ready for, peeling back the layers of one of R&B's most talked about rivalries. About 45 minutes in, while the hosts were hyping up his musical genius, something in him just cracked. He suddenly pulled out his EBT card, his electronic benefits transfer card, and placed it on the table. Right there on camera, Kevin broke down in tears, his pain spilling out for millions to see. It was emotional, raw, and left the internet completely stunned. Whether it was sympathy, shock, or a mix of both, everyone felt something watching that moment. This was a man who once helped create some of the biggest hits of the 2000s and 2010s, songs that earned millions and won major awards. Yet here he was, talking openly about using government assistance just to get by. It was heartbreaking to see such a talented artist fall from the heights of fame to struggling just to make ends meet. Kevin kept it completely real, admitting he was behind on his $2,000 a month child support payments for his daughter Marley with his ex, Eva Marcille.
Actually, basically on a text message saying word. That's all they saying. Like it's one dude saying, yo, do this, and one dude is saying word. What do you feel about that?
I mean, I can't speak on my brothers in them cases and what they going on. I can only be who I always been, they brother. You know, I'm a rock with them for life. It's us never.
He said he hadn't seen his kids in over 10 years and confessed that the emotional weight had driven him into some dark thoughts. Through real tears and painful honesty, Kevin made a direct plea to Chris Brown saying, "Bro, give me the $25,000 you owe me for those 4 tracks." McCall claimed that the total unpaid royalties could reach nearly $3 million, saying his old CBE deal wasn't valid and left him cheated out of what he earned. The contrast was jaw-dropping. While Chris Brown was packing out arenas on his Breezy Bowl 20 tour, pulling in $90 to $100 million performing songs Kevin helped write, Kevin said he was just trying to stay afloat, shopping quietly to avoid being recognized in that painful situation. That clip went insanely viral, no exaggeration. Within just hours, it was everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. The main video reposted by My Mixtapez alone hit over 9 million views on Twitter, and the whole internet couldn't stop talking about it. People were split right down the middle. Some viewers saw Kevin McCall as a man crushed by an unforgiving industry, a sad reminder of how fast fame can fade when the business side turns cold. But others saw it differently, saying Kevin was facing the consequences of his own choices after years of bad decisions and public fallouts. The debate was heated, with fans, critics, and even celebrities weighing in non-stop. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. Out of nowhere, Young Thug, fresh home and ready to move differently, stepped into the conversation with a huge gesture that shocked everyone. On October 21st, 2025, just one day after Kevin's emotional podcast moment broke the internet, Thug posted on Twitter, "Kevin McCall hit me, bro. I'll give you the $25,000 you need, and I know CB would too. He's just busy sometimes." It was wild to see. Thug wasn't clout chasing or trying to score attention. He was genuinely offering to help. Not only was he willing to personally cover the $25,000 Kevin said he was owed, but he also did it publicly, putting both McCall and Chris Brown in a position where everyone could see their next move. It was a rare show of unity in a culture known for chaos, and fans immediately took notice. Young Thug was walking a tight line, defending Chris Brown while still showing compassion for Kevin McCall. That's a rare move, and it hit different because Thug wasn't picking sides. He was trying to bring peace where most people would have fueled more drama. To really get why this moment mattered, you gotta understand the bond between Young Thug and Chris Brown. Their connection goes way back, built on loyalty, mutual respect, and serious music chemistry. Back in 2020, right in the middle of the COVID lockdowns, the two linked up for their Slime and B mixtape, a 13-track project that had fans going wild. The lead single, Go Crazy, didn't just live up to its name. It shot all the way to number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went 4 times platinum. That was certified magic. But it wasn't just about the music. Their loyalty to each other was solid. When Young Thug got locked up in May 2022 on RICO charges, spending over 2 years fighting his case, Chris Brown didn't turn his back. He was one of the few artists who showed real love, posting Free YSL and speaking on Thug with genuine care in interviews, keeping his name alive when others stayed quiet. So when Young Thug stepped up to help Kevin McCall, he wasn't betraying Chris Brown or switching sides. He was trying to bring some peace into a messy situation. Thug was playing the role of a real mediator, showing compassion to a man clearly struggling while still standing up for his friend's name. That's genuine leadership right there. When Thug tweeted, "CB would give it to you too, bro, he's just busy sometimes," it showed pure balance. He wasn't throwing shade, he was showing understanding. Kevin McCall quickly replied with appreciation, saying, "What's up, bro? I'm just seeing this. About to DM you now." For a brief moment, it felt like maybe, just maybe, things could finally cool down. Young Thug, fresh out of federal custody and focused on giving back, had already proven he was serious about change. Just a few months earlier, in August 2025, he'd organized a huge charity event in Atlanta for local kids, showing his heart was in the right place. So when he extended that olive branch to Kevin, it felt genuine, like he was really trying to stop another downfall before it happened. But Chris Brown, he came with completely different energy. On October 22nd, 2025, Chris jumped on Instagram stories and dropped a message that instantly went viral. It read, "Remember this, you can't walk across a burnt bridge. And you know what's funnier than a troll? A broke one." That post hit like a bomb. It was icy, dismissive, and made Chris's stance crystal clear. No reunion, no forgiveness, no payout, nothing. The bridge wasn't just burned, it was gone for good. Instantly, fans flooded social media, picking sides and debating whether Chris was keeping it real or being too cold-hearted. The drama had officially hit a whole new level. Public opinion started swinging about 70% in favor of Chris Brown, with most people in the comments and blogs backing him hard. Fans pointed out that Kevin McCall had once made serious threats toward Chris and his daughter, saying that after everything, Kevin had been given multiple chances but kept dropping the ball. Many felt like his situation was sadly the result of his own choices, and that blaming Chris wasn't fair. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. Before anyone says Chris Brown is being mean, context, Kevin McCall once threatened him and his daughter royalty. That post went crazy, gathering thousands of likes and shares, and it shaped the tone of the conversation for days. Still, not everyone agreed with the crowd. Some people argued that Chris went too far with his response, saying he was being cold to a man who was clearly going through a mental and emotional crisis. They reminded everyone that Kevin helped Chris build his early sound. He was there when the hits were being made. Mocking his financial struggles in public felt cruel to some fans who believed compassion would have been a better move. A few music insiders even pointed out how common this pattern is in the industry. Songwriters and producers often end up struggling financially while the artists they helped reach the top stay rich. They argued that regardless of Kevin's personal mistakes or reckless behavior, if he was truly owed money, he deserved to be paid. That's business, plain and simple. But to really understand how things spiraled to this breaking point, with Kevin crying on camera and Chris Brown firing back with no mercy, you have to rewind to where it all started. Back when they were just two hungry young talents trying to break into the game, before friendship turned to fallout. It all began on March 9th, 2016, when Kevin finally broke his silence and tweeted directly at Chris Brown, "We need to sit down and handle this business." And that message lit the first spark of a feud that would explode years later. Kevin McCall's next move was bold. He posted publicly, saying, "I tried the adult business route. I feel my kindness is being taken for weakness." That was a clear line in the sand, a direct message for everyone to see. Kevin wasn't chasing attention. He wanted accountability. He was calling for a real conversation about what he believed were years of unpaid royalties and broken promises, the kind of behind-the-scenes music politics that can end careers in silence. But if Kevin expected a calm or private response from Chris Brown, he was in for a shock. The very next day, March 10th, 2016, Chris fired back with a long Instagram post that left no room for confusion. It was emotional, raw, and very public. The type of response that shuts the door on reconciliation for good. In that post, Chris accused Kevin of being ungrateful and trying to bring him down, even warning him to stop spreading negativity. Fans instantly knew things had gone way past a normal business dispute. This was personal now. The post spread across every gossip page with thousands of comments debating who was right and who crossed the line. Meanwhile, Kevin tried to keep his cool. Instead of clapping back with more anger, he went on Snapchat and wrote, "I'm Chris Brown's #1 fan, actually." Nobody could tell if he was being sarcastic or serious. It felt like a mix of both. Here was a man who once admired Chris, looked up to him as a mentor, and helped him make some of his biggest records, now facing public rejection from someone he once called family. That tension between respect, betrayal, and pain set the tone for everything that would follow. From that moment on, it wasn't just a business issue anymore. It became a personal feud that would haunt both of their careers for years to come. Kevin once called Chris his little brother, but by 2016, that bond had completely shattered. What started as brotherhood turned into straight-up tension, filled with mixed emotions. One minute, Kevin was demanding to be released from his contract. The next, he was praising Chris's talent. It was confusing. A cycle of love, anger, and regret that played out publicly for everyone to see. Then came June 2016, when Kevin dropped a diss track titled Baruchi, a play on the name of Chris's ex, Karawechi. He later admitted he only did it to get under Chris's skin. It was petty and personal, showing how far things had fallen between them. Two artists who once made hits together now using music to take shots at each other. But things really hit rock bottom on December 11, 2017, when Kevin posted a video challenging Chris to a one-on-one fight. He accused him of not being genuine, questioning his image and toughness. Fans were stunned. Then, in the moment that truly marked the end of their bond, Kevin took his platinum plaque for Deuces, the hit song that once changed both their lives, and smashed it on camera. He looked straight into the lens and said, "Deuces to my past." That act said it all. The brotherhood was officially dead, and there was no going back. Kevin captioned that video with a bitter message symbolizing the end of everything he and Chris Brown had built together. Chris didn't respond with words, just two emojis, one with a blank face, the other laughing. That small reaction said it all. It was cold, dismissive, and probably cut deeper than any full post ever could. It was the ultimate industry statement. You're not even worth my energy. But then things went too far. On January 6, 2018, Kevin McCall tweeted a string of disturbing messages that shocked everyone following their feud. In those posts, he made alarming threats involving Chris and his family, crossing a line that nobody could excuse. Even longtime supporters couldn't stand by him after that. The internet exploded with backlash. Fans, blogs, and even industry insiders condemned the comments instantly. One viral post summed up the entire mood. No matter how bad things get, you never bring someone's child into it. From that moment on, there was no coming back. Whatever brotherhood they once had was gone for good. Kevin's words had ended any chance of reconciliation and turned public opinion completely against him. In hip-hop, and really in life, there are certain lines you just don't cross, and bringing someone's child into drama is one of them. That's off limits, no excuses. After his disturbing tweets, Kevin McCall tried to walk it back, claiming people misunderstood his words and that he was only speaking symbolically. He even said he loved Chris and his daughter, trying to clean it up, but by then, the damage was already done. Nobody was buying it. All the sympathy Kevin had gained, all the valid concerns about unpaid royalties, gone in an instant. Those posts overshadowed everything, giving Chris Brown every reason to distance himself for good. Then, in 2019, Kevin made things worse when he went on another rant online, this time targeting Chris's fans with cruel remarks. It shocked everyone and confirmed that his behavior had spiraled out of control. What could have been a story about redemption turned into a pattern of chaos and self-sabotage. Meanwhile, Chris Brown kept quiet through most of it. No messy posts, no interviews, just silence. He didn't need to say much. Kevin's actions were already speaking louder than words. But in a resurfaced 2020 video, Chris finally addressed it indirectly, subtly flexing his success and questioning Kevin's talent in a calm but cutting way that made it clear he had moved on while Kevin was still stuck in the storm. Chris Brown once said in an interview, if he wrote all those songs he claims he did, why he ain't writing hits now? It was a cold statement, but it hit hard because it spoke to reality. While Chris's career kept rising with platinum albums, world tours, and awards, Kevin McCall's momentum completely faded. His 2017 project, Man of God, barely made noise, and his net worth, once full of potential, had dropped to almost nothing. But to understand how things got this deep, you have to go back to where it all began, the rise and fall of a brotherhood. It started in 2009 when a young Kevin McCall from Watts, Los Angeles, decided to take a huge risk that changed everything. Fresh out of college and chasing NFL dreams, Kevin found himself at a music event trying to network. That's where he spotted Chris Brown, who at that time was only 20 and trying to rebuild his image after his career had taken a major hit. In a move of pure confidence and hunger, Kevin walked straight up to Chris and pitched his demos face to face. He wasn't taking no for an answer. It was bold, fearless, and showed the kind of determination only someone with nothing to lose could have. And believe it or not, it worked. That single moment would open doors that turned both their lives upside down and started one of the most complicated friendships in modern R&B history. Chris Brown saw something special in Kevin McCall: raw talent, hunger, and the same drive he once had. Impressed, he invited Kevin to the studio, and that moment sparked what Kevin would later call a magical era. It wasn't just music, it was brotherhood. Chris eventually signed him to his label, CBE, Chris Brown Entertainment, in partnership with RCA, making Kevin his official protege during a major comeback in Chris's career. Together, they created pure heat. Their chemistry was undeniable, delivering some of the biggest tracks of the early 2000s. One of those hits was Deuces, featuring Tyga, a breakup anthem that peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned a Grammy nomination. But few fans know that Deuces actually started as Kevin's song. He wrote it about his first heartbreak and poured his real emotions into it. Kevin agreed to let Chris have the track under one condition: he had to stay featured on it. Chris kept his word, brought in Tyga, and the rest became history. The song exploded, earning Kevin 6 figures in royalties, life-changing money for someone who was working retail just months earlier. It felt like the start of a dream come true, but that success would later become the root of one of R&B's most complicated feuds. Kevin McCall stayed on a hot streak. In 2011, he co-wrote and featured on Strip, which hit number 37 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had the clubs jumping. He also helped craft Look at Me Now, Chris Brown's smash hit with Busta Rhymes and Lil Wayne that became his first #1 record and dominated the airwaves. Kevin's pen was all over Chris's FAME album, the project that earned Chris his first Grammy and cemented his full comeback as one of R&B's biggest names. McCall's talent stretched beyond Chris too. He wrote for other artists like Carrie Hilson on One Night Stand, proving he was one of the most versatile writers in the game. For a moment, Kevin McCall was living every young artist's dream: money, fame, and hits that defined an era. Chris often called him my big brother, and their studio sessions were like family, full of laughter, creativity, and genuine love. But behind that success, cracks started to form. Around 2013, Kevin began feeling boxed in, like he was losing control of his own image and sound. In a 2015 Vlad TV interview, Kevin revealed that Chris wanted him to push a grown and edgy image that didn't fit who he really was as an artist. The tension kept building until one small moment in 2014 changed everything, when actress Keke Palmer reached out to collaborate. What seemed like a normal industry move would end up setting off a chain reaction that tore their bond apart for good. Kevin McCall was ready to step out of Chris Brown's shadow and build his own name. So when Keke Palmer reached out to collaborate, he jumped at the chance. They filmed Shorty Wanna Ride, and Kevin felt like this was his big moment to finally shine solo. But Chris didn't see it that way. According to Kevin, Chris called him directly and wasn't happy about the move. He felt the collab didn't fit the image he wanted for his brand. What started as a creative disagreement quickly turned personal. Kevin claimed Chris threatened to block his progress in the industry, which hit deep. Coming from Watts, Kevin lived by respect, and feeling controlled like that was a line he couldn't accept. That call marked the real breaking point between them, the day their brotherhood shifted from partnership to power struggle, and nothing was the same after that. Kevin McCall later claimed that people around Chris Brown, especially management, were quietly blocking his solo moves and shutting down his opportunities. He said that even though Deuces went global with hundreds of millions of streams, he never saw the full royalties he believed he earned. According to Kevin, he was young, hungry, and didn't fully understand the contracts he signed under Chris's company. He felt trapped in bad deals and left out of credits on songs he helped create, like Look at Me Now. Whether it was bad paperwork or bad blood, Kevin took it as betrayal, the feeling of being erased by someone he once helped build up. It's a sad ending to what started as a brotherhood built on music, trust, and dreams. What began with hits and loyalty ended with pain and silence. If you want more deep dives like this, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment below.